Welcome to Prestige Worldwide, the podcast, a weekly battle of wits, debating everything from horseshoes to hand grenades, all for the privilege to be called right. And now, your hosts, Bobo and Travis.
Hey guys, welcome to Prestige Worldwide, the podcast. I am Travis. With me as always is Bobo.
Heyo!
How's it going, buddy?
Living the fucking dream, baby.
Good to hear it. I am always happy when you are living your dream and it is being realized, no matter how shitty that dream may be.
No, living the dream, not my dream. Listen, my dream is way fucking cooler than doing the podcast. I'd be like on a yacht somewhere, maybe snorkeling down in the South Pacific, something like that.
That does sound great, but that is not the dream you are living.
Nope.
You're living
No.
You're living a kid's dream that is stuck in a cage somewhere right now. That is that
I'm living a Matrix dream. I'm living someone's Mr. Anderson's dream from the Matrix.
Oh, is that right? So this is
yes.
Utopia was too good, so they had to do something that was more realistic to the human existence. So they put you basically into your life.
You got it.
That's it. Okay. All right.
Nailed it.
Well, we're gonna jump right into this week because who knows?
Yeah, you said you got a lot of things to talk to me about, so
who knows where this episode is going to take us? Let's just go with that.
I kind of enjoy those ones that just would carve their own path out in the world. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, the first thing I want to talk to you about is the Sarah Huckabee Sanders thing. Because
okay.
I always find it interesting. You have a very pro-business way of looking at things. Would that be correct?
Yes.
The correct way to...
That's pretty much correct.
Okay. And I'll tell you what. So if anybody's been living under a rock, that happened this past weekend, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the press secretary for the Donald Trump campaign... presidency.
He's president. He got elected.
Right. She went to a restaurant in Virginia, and the owner noticed who she was. And from what I understand, from the accounts that I read, the owner went to some of the other employees and said, "Listen, do you guys want her here?" And they said, "Nope." So she walked over and quietly asked her to leave. And Sarah Huckabee Sanders got up and left and didn't make a scene. She just tweeted about it later, and that's pretty much how everybody found out about it. And I am very torn on how I feel about this.
You're torn?
I am very torn about this.
I'm going to warn you right now. You're not torn at all. You just think you are.
I'm not. I am torn.
You're not.
Because I understand the distinction here. Maybe that's... I understand the distinction. We're not kicking out all press secretaries. We're kicking out just one of our restaurant. So while I'm okay with the owner making that choice, do I want the owners to be able to kick out anybody they want? And that's where we lead into, race or homosexuals or, I don't know. How do you feel about this, Bobo?
How do I feel about it?
Yeah.
Listen, this is very simple. They didn't kick her out based on one of the protected classes, so to speak, race, gender, anything like that.
Okay.
They just kicked her out because they don't like her.
Right.
Do they have the right to do that? I guess so. Should they do it? No. That was one of the dumbest things they've ever done.
You think?
Yes.
In what way?
It's one of the most... So, the path it leads you down as a business, if you can just start denying service to anybody you want for whatever reason you want, I'm not going to serve you because I don't like the way your face looks.
Right.
That is not a good way to run a country.
I agree.
Or a business.
I agree.
So, it's a terrible precedent to set. It's a terrible decision. This is why small businesses, or any business, shouldn't be allowed to make their own rules because they're fucking terrible at it. Groupthink is a terrible way to make decisions.
Sure. I mean, well, okay, but I understand what you're saying. And I guess I'm with you on this, that like they shouldn't, that They shouldn't be kicking out anybody. However, I don't know. Shouldn't this be, as a business owner, if you want to voice your opposition to the presidency, isn't this a way of doing it?
Sarah Huckabee Sanders is not the president.
She's the at least third most visible person of the administration.
So we're just going to start. So if you want to voice your opposition to Donald Trump, then you're allowed to just deny service to any Republican that voted for him.
I mean, you could. If somebody
That's
comes,
a terrible idea too. That's even worse. That just makes the divide in our country bigger, not smaller.
I completely understand that. I understand that, and I don't like I said, I'm not saying this is, well, I haven't realized, or I haven't come to facts, or whatever I'm trying to say. I haven't come to grips with if this was the right decision or the wrong decision for anybody. The business, for the country, for whatever. Like I said, I'm torn. I'm legit torn about this because, let's. Is it hard to say at this point that Sarah Sanders lies from her pulpit that she's at right now?
I'm telling you right now, if Bernie Sanders was president and he had been escorted out of a Chick-fil-A,
right,
you would be up in arms about it.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's a good point. That is.
Yeah. Well, if you're not upset about that, like they're the exact same thing.
Sure. So I guess, and I did see there was something that Joe Biden a few years ago was asked to leave somewhere, and
that was wrong too.
And so, the reason I brought that up is that is a way for so I'm trying to put myself in that situation. I don't remember that, so I don't remember hearing about it or caring about it at that point. And yes, that is what. Honestly, you're exactly right. That is what we all should be doing. At this point, if you agree or disagree with this decision, then you need to put yourself in the position if it happened to somebody you like or dislike, however you choose to look at it.
Correct.
However, I don't know. I now that I see this and I'm okay with them asking her to leave, I need to be okay with it in the future if they ask somebody else that I like. And
keep in mind, you are asking someone who is a civil servant who has given at least part of their life at this point to public service, who, as far as I'm concerned, Sarah Huckabee Sanders has not committed any crimes. She's not a criminal. She's not a bad person. You just disagree with her politics. You're going to not let her in your restaurant because she has put herself out there as a person who is, she's a famous person now. Like, her life is not her own anymore.
Well,
but you're going to probably serve dinner to people that have been convicted of DUI, assault, battery, shoplifting. That's okay because you don't know them personally.
Well, okay, that's I like. You lost me on that little argument because
I said the only difference is the veil of information is lower for her than everybody else because she's a public figure,
right? But it's not like she didn't do anything. It's not like she is. Agree or disagree.
She has not done anything. You just disagree with her politics.
No. I disagree with everything you just said there because she is a generally terrible person.
That's not an objective, like that's your point of view.
Well, okay, listen. If I have a restaurant and somebody, well, okay, you're right. It is my point of view, and
yes,
there are facts out there to whatever. But if that's also if I have a restaurant and it's my point of view that a terrible person just walked through my doors and wants to sit down and eat it at my table,
right? And
I have the facts there. I may not have them about other people. You're absolutely right, but I have the facts on her. Get the fuck out.
Okay, but you do realize where that argument leads though at that point.
What's that?
So, because you're basically just going to start denying service to anybody you just don't like. I mean, I don't think business should be allowed to make those decisions. What happens is you end up having restaurants that won't serve black people. That's the road that it leads down to.
Okay, and that is why I am on the fence about this. That is why I don't know how I feel about this because, of course, when it comes to groups of people, the protected people,
So here's my question, Travis.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Let's roll this back a little bit. So what happened at the restaurant was the owner asked all the employees
Yes.
if they should leave or not.
Sure.
I think there were like 8 employees.
Right.
And they were all like, yeah, we don't want her to be here or whatever.
Okay.
What if one of those employees just doesn't want to speak up and they actually want her to be there?
Well, if it's that's fine. But if it's just one, then they're gonna get outvoted. So
But they're cooks. They're chefs. They shouldn't have to be making political stances on who they serve or not, is my point. I don't like putting them in that position in the first place. What that owner did was grossly unfair to those employees.
Really? I mean,
absolutely. What if you're trying to make ends meet? You're a fucking single mother of 3, and 7 other people are like, yeah, get this bitch out of here. And you're like, but I voted for her president.
Well,
like, that is a terribly unfair thing to do to somebody.
Why would that be unfair? You think because there's going to be retaliation?
What if this was 5-4?
Well, that's how this country is founded. That's how
you don't work at a job
works.
for that. You not to bring those things into the workplace. By doing that, you bring all those issues into the workplace and making the kitchen staff make your decision as a restaurant and a company based on that. That's a terrible idea.
Listen.
Let's go to McDonald's right now, and every time a cop rolls in the drive-thru, let's poll all the employees at McDonald's. Do you want to serve this cop or not?
Well, that's a good point, because what would have been worse? Them kicking her out, or she finding spit or something in her food?
I mean, that's the American way when you disagree with someone in the drive-thru, right?
I mean, because you bring up a good point about McDonald's and cops. How many cops do you think get spit in their food?
My point is that McDonald's is never going to let you decide who their employees decide who to serve or not, because they're the employees. You're management. You should make the decision, and your employees abide by it. You have the terrible analogy of the inmates running the prison.
Yeah, no, you're out of your mind on that one. Yeah, because
they made the decision, not the owner. The employees made the decision.
Listen, if this place, I don't know how many employees it had. You said eight employees, so we're going to just use that as fact at this point. So if there's 8 employees in there, it's a pretty close knit group, and you get and as the owner, you run the business less as a dictator and more as a president.
This is why the average length of term for a restaurant is 4 years, because you're agreeing with these terrible decisions they're making.
It's not. I don't. No. See, I'm agreeing with the way they came about it. Again, I'm on the fence with with this decision at all. But I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to include your employees in decision making processes when it comes to this kind of stuff. Because you know what? At the end of the day, it's the employees that make the restaurant. It's not the owner. If you have a shitty chef, you can have the best owner you want. It's not going to have your restaurant's going on.
I completely disagree with that. If you are the owner of a restaurant, you're in charge of your employees. If your chef is shitty, fire him and get a new chef. That is on you, not the chef. That is your decision as management. Like, that's you can hire every single person. You pick them.
Sure.
It's your fault.
Okay. I don't. Okay, that's a good point. But
I just don't like this. I'm not saying like should a business have the right to refuse service to any single person. I didn't need a good reason for it. I don't think just because you don't like someone's a good enough reason.
I think this goes far beyond not liking somebody.
Completely disagree. She's not making a scene in the restaurant. She's not causing the problems. There weren't any issues. They'd already ordered appetizers and they were serving the main course and they kicked her out. She was not causing a disturbance or a scene.
I guess
if she walked into the restaurant and the people were rioting because of it, that's a different story maybe.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm just going on, the generalities of it. Like, should somebody be kicked out of a restaurant because they work for somebody? I don't know. Would it be?
No.
Okay. Hey, listen. Bill Cosby has a couple more weeks until he gets locked up for the rest of his life. You think it'd be okay if somebody kicked him out of a restaurant?
Until he's a convicted felon, I think it's completely wrong.
Really?
Has he been judged in the eyes of the law?
Yes.
He's not yet, though.
Yes, he has. He's been sentenced.
No, sorry. He's been convicted guilty now. So no, now it's fine.
Okay, Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein, who's been accused and arrested for raping multiple women, walks into your restaurant and you don't think it's okay to kick them out or kick him out.
Arrested or tried and convicted?
He's been arrested. Just arrested.
Okay, what happened with the arrest? Where did it go?
They're making.
Was he proven innocent?
They're working on the case now.
That's a gray line because I like to see the judicial process play out, and I'd hope most people would be level-headed enough to at least say, let's wait and see what happens, just to make sure we're right or not before making those decisions.
You know enough about Harvey Weinstein at this point. We've made fun of him.
I know nothing about him.
We've made fun of him plenty on this podcast. We know the stories about him. We know he's been accused of raping multiple women.
There are also people that are been accused and convicted of murder that are innocent, that are on death row.
Not serial killers. Not people that have been accused of killing multiple people. Like, yes, I understand there are people out there that get accused of rape and get accused of murder, and it happens, and that is a damn shame. But there are not people out there that get accused of doing it multiple times, and all of a sudden, oh, you know what, we got it wrong. Turns out they go to church on Sundays. Like,
I mean, you're making that's a very strong point, like the Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein examples, because there's they're all famous celebrities, by the way.
Right.
Like the number of people that actually happens to that are on this earth right now are probably like 2,000 people.
Right.
Like, what if like Vladimir Putin walks in a restaurant? Do you want to serve him or not?
And I don't.
Right. But my point is, I just would not want to make those decisions. I'll just serve anybody unless I don't, if there's some problem with it. Why get involved in those decisions in the first place? I don't think it's a good idea. If you just have this policy of we serve everybody unless there's a problem,
right,
then you never have to be in trouble for this stuff.
Yeah, I understand. Well, but what you're describing is great in a perfect world. But at a certain point,
as government, we have the ability to make laws to make the world as perfect as possible.
Well, but at a certain point, if somebody that you consider despicable walks through your doors, you're going to be faced with those kinds of decisions. So,
okay,
my
point is, I'd rather take those decisions away from those people.
The owners.
Yes.
Ooh.
You don't have a choice, Travis, if you pay taxes or not, if you run a business.
Right.
You just pay them.
Sure.
You no longer have a choice of who you serve. You serve everybody. That's your penalty for running a business.
See, that feels weird to me. Like you saying that.
Well, then don't start a business.
You saying that just kind of feels weird to me because
everyone should have the basic right to live their life. If everyone's going to blackball somebody because they don't like them, then where are they going to be?
I honestly, I don't know. That surprised me. That's kind of why I wanted to talk to you about this because
let me put the worst case scenario. Okay,
sure.
Let's just Harvey Weinstein.
Yes,
he goes to a restaurant.
Yep,
they won't serve him.
Right.
He goes to the grocery store to buy food. They won't serve him. He goes to the car dealership to buy a car. He can't buy a car. He wants to get electric service. They won't hook up his electric bill So what does he do? He goes to the homeless shelter. They won't serve him because he's Harvey Weinstein. Where does that line end? If every single business, because everybody universally hates Harvey Weinstein.
Right.
Everybody.
Sure.
Find me a person that likes him, and you're a fuck of a person, right?
Yes, or you're too close to the situation.
Right. Those people probably don't run businesses that are serving food. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
You could starve this guy to death.
You couldn't. I mean, theoretically you could, but somebody out there is going to get food for him.
Okay, what if they're really who?
Probably one of his friends. Somebody that doesn't.
What if he doesn't have any more friends? What if his whole family's abandoned him? What if no one will talk to him?
Again, we could do the what if all day long. But just and I'll bring us up to a previous argument of ours, and I'll make your point that you did before. Just like net neutrality, we could say what ifs all day long, but it hasn't happened yet.
But in your mind, though, you would prefer that to be a reality, is what you're telling me.
I would, for him, yes. Yeah,
so
go for it.
You would prefer, my point is, where does that line stop? There are a lot of people in this world you hate.
Sure.
That probably have not committed a crime.
Where does that line stop? The homeless shelter.
Right.
For me, the homeless shelter. Legitimately.
Good to know the soup kitchens and the homeless shelters are the only places you can go in Travis's business world. They have to serve everybody.
No, listen. No, not in Travis's business world. If Travis runs the businesses. If I run the businesses, I don't that's the way I feel. But I feel like, if you as a business person say, fuck it, let him come in and eat his steak dinner. Well, that's okay too. I don't have a problem with everybody allowing everyone. My problem with this issue is where we draw the line of who you do not allow.
Let me ask you a simple question, then we can move on.
Okay.
Would you rather live in a world where these businesses can make these choices and deny service to Sarah Huckabee Sanders and Bill Cosby or whatever they want? Or would you rather live in a world where businesses just have to serve everybody and they don't have to get involved? What world is a better place? What makes it better for society?
Option A. In my mind, option A.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
Because if I'm throwing my money at a restaurant, I'd like them to act what I consider to be responsible. And if they
it's
have
not just restaurants though.
I'm sorry?
It's not just restaurants.
Well, I'm giving it to restaurants right now. Yes, I know it's not just restaurants, but right now we're just speaking about restaurants. So if I'm giving my money to a business, I'd like to, and if they have an issue with what's going on, I'm okay with them taking a stand. Now, if it is a single person, I'm okay with them taking a stand. What I'm not okay with is when it becomes a group of people. Just a flat group of people.
That's illegal.
If this restaurant
classes of people,
right? If this restaurant that we're talking about tomorrow puts up a sign, "No Republicans allowed," I'm not okay with that at all.
Oh, so yeah, I think you have to be.
I'm not.
That's what they're saying.
They're not saying that.
Yes, they absolutely are. Because you admit that the reason you like Sanders is because she's the voice of the president who you don't agree with politically.
Right. Yes. But I have
anyone that voted for him, by extension, you would not agree with.
That's not
so
what
I have no problem with that restaurant denying every Republican then.
That
off
is
the board for the same reason.
That is not at all what I'm saying, and that's not what I'm saying. And
I'm dead serious though.
But I'm telling you, that is not what I'm saying. Like, you want to hear whatever you want to hear, that's fine, but that is not what I'm saying. No.
I agree. You're not saying that. I'm saying I would be okay with that.
Oh yes, I'm not okay with that at all. Like, you can't just blanketly, you can't just blanketly deny a group of people.
So wait, you've just told me that you can pick and choose to deny as long as it's not a strong enough conviction to ban a certain group of people.
You can pick and choose your individuals.
Just the leaders of them.
No. You can pick and choose your individuals. If somebody comes in with a Make Great America onesie on and is stirring up shit at your restaurant, kick them the fuck out.
Not stirring up shit, because Sarah Huckabee Sanders was not stirring up shit, so you can't throw that in there. That's different.
Sure, okay.
If you're making a scene, I think that's different.
Right, okay. They come in, they sit down, and your cooks say, I don't want to serve them. Okay. They get the fuck out. But when you put up a sign... No, there's not what if. What's that?
What if it's just someone that, like, the cook knows, and they're like, hey, that guy's a Republican. We don't want to serve him. Get him out.
Okay. No, that's not. I don't know. If you have your cooks looking out at your restaurant and can pick out somebody out of the crowd and saying, I don't want to serve them, you got yourself a problem there. You got yourself a larger problem with your business other than who you're kicking out or not. But again, when it's an individual, I'm okay with it. When it's a group, I'm not. Let's move on. Or did you?
All right.
Are you sure?
I don't really want to move on, but that's okay.
I
keep thinking of scenarios that are just terrible for society because of that. I don't know.
But we're going around in circles because you just keep picking groups.
Yes, but my whole point of this is I won't pick groups. My whole larger point, we'll move on, is I just don't like how you're going to create a society where we're going to only serve, for instance, Sarah Huckabee Sanders probably can't eat out at a lot of restaurants. Other restaurants will be emblazoned by this, and they'll say, hey, we're not serving her either.
Okay.
So she now has been limited dramatically by where she can eat, potentially.
Okay.
I don't think she's deserved that, though. I don't think anyone that's not being convicted of a crime or committing some cause of disturbance in a restaurant deserves to be treated like that, just by basic civil decency. We're a society.
Whether you think she deserves it or not at this point is irrelevant. right now we're having the conversation on whether we should have the freedom or whatever you want to call it to make those decisions. Like, you don't think
you're right. And I right here as a pretty pro-business person, don't think businesses should be involved in those kind of decisions.
They shouldn't have the freedom to do that.
No.
Okay. We'll move on.
And certain businesses do not, I don't think, by the way. So
yeah.
I don't think an airline can kick Sarah Huckabee Sanders off because she's Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I don't think she's allowed to do that.
Allowed to do that? I don't know. I
don't think so. That's an interesting question.
What would be
can Delta say they're not flying any of the staff of Donald Trump?
Again, you can't. Well, I understand. Like, this is you know what? They probably could. You know, I mean,
what about a hospital, a private hospital? Can they deny service for any reason?
No, because there is the Hippocratic Oath. You cannot just say I won't treat.
The Hippocratic Oath isn't legally binding though.
It's I think it goes along in with your license. So if you refuse to treat a patient, you're going to lose your license.
I have a friend who's a doctor. I should ask that. That's actually a serious question. That would make a decision difference to me.
Yeah, I don't think they can because they take that oath to serve or to treat everyone. You know. Right. So
if you're a doctor, call in 747 banging. Let us know.
Yeah, let us interview you or talk to you a little bit about that, because I'd like to know what the parameters outside of politics are. And yeah, we don't have to get into that.
If restaurant owners had to take a Hippocratic oath to help feed everybody to the best of their ability, then we have a problem with it.
I don't. Anyways.
We're not getting to this week's topic. We'll save it for next week.
No, we're totally not. But again, this will be the third time that one of us has said this. Let's move on, because I do want to talk about something else that is kind of along these lines.
God damn it. Okay.
But I think it's interesting. So I'm gonna let you play the clip, Bobo, for our listeners to hear, and I'll set this up that this was
do you think this is along the same lines?
Not along the same lines, but it's all political at this point. Which,
I don't think this is political.
I think it is. We'll get into that.
We'll talk about that. We'll get into that.
Yes, play the clip.
All right, I'm gonna play this clip here real quick.
Okay.
Here, final point, David. All right, you said that about David. David, Michael Hayden posted a picture of Auschwitz. Donnie Deutsch is talking.
That liberal Michael Hayden. Yeah, that screaming liberal Michael Hayden.
You're out of your cotton picking mind.
Cotton picking mind, brother. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I got some relatives who pick cotton.
Okay,
and I'm not going to allow you to attack me like that on TV. I'm not out of my cotton picking mind.
You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
He said you're out of your mind. Gentlemen, we're going to leave it right there.
This is ridiculous. This is what's gone on in America. This is what we're about.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
This is
Let's
outrageous.
end it on a civil note. I appreciate you both coming in. Have a wonderful Sunday with your families.
Happy Sunday.
Thank you, guys. David, Joel, thank you.
Wow.
Okay. I'm going to start off. Did you know that cotton picking mind was a racist term?
Absolutely.
Really?
How could you not think it's one?
Because the origins of it are not.
What?
The origins of cotton picking mind has to do with how hard it is to pick cotton, and not about who picked cotton.
Really?
Yeah. Right. So, I've heard this. I've heard cotton picking mind. Nobody under 40 says it anymore, I would say. Like, cotton,
right.
Out of your cotton picking mind is kind of an old person's vernacular. But I had no idea. Absolutely no idea.
Wow.
And to be honest with you, so what you just watched was on Fox News, and one guy was, the white guy said you're out of your cotton picking mind to a black guy, And I'll be honest with you. When I first heard this, my first instinct would have been, oh, I said that, but I didn't realize it. I'm sorry. but what pisses me off about this too, and this is a segment about racism. That's the other funny part about this whole thing is the whole segment of this whole segment was about racism.
Right.
So you would
Nazis, I think.
Nazis, racists in general. But like, if your segment is about racism, you'd think you might be a little bit sensitive to this kind of shit. But as soon as that guy says it, and his name's David Bossy, as soon as he says it, the other guy, Joel Payne, flips out. Which, again, I didn't know it was a racist term, but if he took it that way, pretty rightly, he flips out.
Can we, I don't know if flips out the right word. He definitely reacts. He does not like fly off the handle about it. He handles himself pretty.
Sure. He just keeps saying, excuse me? You know, I mean, you know.
Well, he's saying that because the other guy won't go and get a word in edgewise. The other dude, is it David Bossy or whatever his name is being like a complete asshole.
Well, so that's my point. So as soon as he says it, Joel Payne kind of starts laying into him, or tries to get some sort of clarification, and David Bossy won't stop. And in fact, he rolls his eyes when it's suggested that that's a racial term. Like,
yes, correct.
That is okay. So that is crazy to me that somebody can say that we've gotten to the point where somebody goes, that's racist that you just said that, and you roll your eyes at it. Like
that was pretty uncalled for.
Right. Like, cause again, I'm going back to, I had no idea that this could be taken as a racist term. And I understand that it can be and maybe is. However, the original.
I mean, I don't know how in 2000, like in this time, like it sounds like a racist term.
I guess now, like
I would not be cotton picking. Like that's what black people did for us in the 1800s. Like that's what they did as slaves.
Oh, too soon?
What?
No, that's what I'm saying. Too soon.
Yeah, but you can't say to a black person like that.
I guess I'm just out of my.
I don't think you can at all.
I'm out of my cotton picking mind. I don't know. I just what I really like. I honestly didn't think that you would think this was a racist term at this point.
Oh yeah, it is. That's why you don't hear it anymore.
Well, no, it's like it's the same reason you don't hear "gee golly." Like it's just
the same reason you don't hear people refer to blacks as coloreds. I think. Like it's just not kosher.
I had no idea. I honestly don't. I honestly don't know the last time.
I couldn't. I'll be honest. It's said so infrequently. I don't think. I'll be honest here. Like the guy rolled his eyes, David Bossy.
Right.
I don't think he thought. I think he felt like you. I don't think he thought it was a racist term. I don't think he used it in a racial manner.
Right.
I think he's just an idiot.
Yeah.
Because if you say that. And you don't realize instantly what you said to a black person and don't apologize. You could have played it off and be like, "Oh, my bad. I was just, it's a turn of phrase. I wasn't thinking."
Right. Because
instead he rolls his eyes.
Because you're right, and that was the wrong thing to do there. Like but honestly, when I want to get back to the meaning of this, because when I heard about this, and I was like, "Oh, cotton picking mine." To be honest with you, what it sounds like to me is when Christians try to make up phrases when they can't say swear words. Like, dude, when you and I talked about it the other week about cheese and rice.
Yep, cheese and rice.
Cheese and rice is a substitute for Jesus Christ.
Yes.
So like, and the thing that I'm reading about here, it's phrases.org. It is phrases.org.uk. That's the only one that I can really find. Says it's an intensifier used as a general term of disapproval, a substitute for the word damned. So so instead of you're out of your damn mind, you're out of your cotton picking mind. And so, I don't know. I had no idea at this point. I really thought it was just Christians being Christians.
Oh no! I mean, I think it had a racial tone.
So
but I don't think he used it that way. I think he used it in an accent. My problem with it is he rolls his eyes at it.
Yes.
And my other bigger problem with it is, if you listen to the clip again, people, at the end of it, when the commentator, if you actually watch the clip, he notices when David says it.
Yes, he did.
And he visibly cringes. It's slight, but you can see he's like, shit. Because he knew what happened. And when he ended the segment, he tried to get the side of David Bossie, and he said, out of your mind.
Yes. Yeah.
That was the exact wrong thing to do. Because it looked like two white guys piling on a black guy.
Sure.
That was fucked up.
But I will say, I'm surprised that David Bossie's been suspended.
I'm not.
Well, I shouldn't say I shouldn't say I'm surprised. I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't think what he did was intentional. I think his reaction was bad, but I don't think what he did was actually intentional. And
I agree, which is why I'm okay with just a suspension. You shouldn't fire him for that.
Oh, absolutely not. And
now, if he does it again, if you momentary lapses in judgment, if it happened once or so, no big deal. If it's a trend, then he's got to go.
What do you think the next thing he can say would be that instead of, because he's not going to say this again. He's got to obviously say something else a little bit more veiled. Like, I can only imagine what his next one's going to be. But
call someone an Indian giver.
Oh, now that's a good one.
To a Native American?
Yeah, see, now that's not because that's not as as racist just yet. So I like that one. I'll go with that one for you, or with you on that one. But
all right, okay. One time you suspend them, you slap them on the wrist, and you move on. You got to do something.
I'll be honest with you. I think suspension, even in this case, is a little much.
What else you do?
I think he apologized. Well, I know that the host apologized after when the segment, or when it came back from commercial. I think if he apologizes, if David Bossie goes out and goes on one of these shows and says, "Listen, I didn't realize it. I'm so sorry. Like, I wouldn't say that, blah, blah, blah. Here's my black friend that you can all see that I'm not racist." So if he goes out and does that, then I think I don't know. I think that's good enough.
I'm okay with a small suspension. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't make much more difference. He's still getting paid probably, so whatever.
Sure. Okay. That's fine. I like how.
Yeah, don't fire the guy for that. Although, I watched 20 seconds of that clip. I can already tell David Bossie's like a colossal asshole in real life.
Oh, yeah.
I would just fire him for being a dick.
Yeah, but you can. He's on Fox News. That's where he fits in.
I don't understand how you watch that guy. I don't want to fucking blow your brains out. That looked like terrible TV to me.
Because he's every middle-aged white guy that's watching Fox News, and they agree with him.
Listen, white guys that are middle-aged aren't watching Fox News. White guys that are senior citizen age are watching Fox News.
Yeah, I guess he's not middle-aged. But he's not senior. He's not the old guy yet. The quote-unquote old guy. He's the 60-year-old dude that he's getting close to retirement. He doesn't want, he's getting crotchety. He's thinking about getting into supplements that, Sean Hannity or somebody's selling him.
He's starting to get into those InfoWars supplements.
He's starting to get into that. He's already getting into essential oils, and he's just starting to go down this slippery slope of silver tablets or whatever.
Listen, if we have to get the left and the right in America to agree on things, they can meet in the middle in terms of their distrust of medicine. And how we all think we're getting screwed by medicine and start using essential oils and stuff to cure their diseases. That's going to bridge America.
It could. I guess.
That's the closest ground we have.
I just don't understand. I have a bit of distrust for medicine, but I just don't use it. I don't know. I don't understand this need to go out and find something that's going to be better. Because if it was better, it'd be sold to the masses. Like,
right.
I don't know. Whatever. That is legitimately a whole nother episode.
We've done a whole episode on that before. We had that with Big E. So.
I think we could go. I think we could go deeper into what is actually being sold out there.
Oh, dude, we can revisit that topic whenever you want.
Right. I know you're always up to it, but I like taking. I know we did some of the science behind it, and that's always funny. But what is actually fun? What is funny for me is looking at the bullshit that is being sold and how it's being marketed.
Oh my god, dude.
That's the funny for me. But
I agree. We'll put that on the short list. We got to come back to that at some point.
Sure. So
what else you want to yell at me about?
No, I want to move on to end times because
okay.
I think we're gonna have kind of a discussion about this one as well.
Yeah, I think we are, and it's gonna be this is actually gonna be an important discussion that I think affects everybody.
Okay.
So, listen, just hit the news today. Disney has gotten Department of Justice approval to buy 21st Century Fox.
Okay.
The caveat to that, and there is one, is Disney has to divest themselves the Fox-owned regional sports networks.
Okay. Oh, okay. So
which
they can't. So they can't have ESPN and all of the other Fox.
Right, because they already have ESPN and stuff.
Right. Okay.
So but let's talk about this because I'm not really sure. Like, this bothers me on so many levels. Just think about this, Travis. We now live in a world where a company that sells books online, sells TVs online, sells clothes online, I'm talking about Amazon,
right,
also sells you groceries at a grocery store.
Okay.
A physical grocery store.
Yep.
They also sell you cloud storage on the internet.
Right.
They also sell you TV shows through Prime. They sell you movies through Prime. They sell you music through Prime. They sell a bunch of other stuff that I'm not even mentioning.
Right.
We now have a company that owns, 30% of all the TV channels now at some point. With Fox and Disney combined. I mean, I don't understand why we don't care about monopolies anymore. I
don't disagree with you on that one. But, no, wait, I'm sorry. Are you trying to say that Disney owns Amazon?
No. I'm saying we have companies now that are so large and they're in so many different businesses now. It's like they're these giant megalithic companies. It's like the fear of every one of those old science fiction novels where there's one corporation that owns everything.
Right. Brawndo.
Brawndo, right.
Brawndo. Yes. But my question, I guess you and I flip sides so goddamn easily, and it's kind of maddening for me. Because while I don't disagree with you, what's the number of companies that should run industries? Should it be 10? Should it be 15? Should it be 20? What's the lowest?
It should be based on the size of the market and the competition and the barriers to entry. So there's no one answer for one industry.
Okay.
Now,
so what's the size?
Companies that have a low barrier of entry, there should be a lot of them because it should be easy to start a company.
Right.
So I understand why there's only a few cell phone companies because building the infrastructure for cell phones is expensive, which is why they shouldn't even be their own companies. We should have them government regulated. That's a dumb idea in the first place. Why we have them as independent companies is retarded.
Okay. I'm hearing the price of my cell phone bill go down, so I'm okay with this.
Right. So now for a company like Amazon, almost anybody should be able to start their own internet reselling company. So there should be a lot of them out there. And there are, except when you let a company get so big, they start pricing out the market. Okay. And that's what Amazon's doing, and it's not good.
It's doing it, but it's not. I mean, I like the convenience of Amazon, so I'm not going to shit on them so much. But I understand what you're saying. However, every time when you describe everything that Amazon does, it just brings to mind Walmart or Target, who do the exact same things.
Except the one thing that they don't do, which is ship it to your house within 2 days for free shipping.
Nope, they both do that now too.
Oh.
I know Walmart, I think, does it outright for free. And Target, if you use their gift or their credit card, you get 5% off your order, I think it is, and then you get free 2-day shipping.
Well, they should market that better because I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, no, there legitimately was a Walmart campaign to tell you that they now have free 2-day shipping.
Oh, shit.
So, but that's 3 companies. I don't necessarily know that I'm okay with just 3 companies. I mean, whenever we have this discussion or whenever we talk about this thing, it makes me think about the music labels and how there's really I think there's 4 or 5 of them outside of independent music labels. Anything that you hear on the radio or on whatever you're listening to, Spotify, is generally controlled by 4 or 5 record labels.
Yep.
That makes me uneasy.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
And I get your trepidation when it comes to Disney buying Fox. Now, does that mean what happens to Fox and NFL on Fox?
So that still happens. No. I don't. So the sale does not include Fox News, Fox Business Network, FS1, FS2, and the Fox Broadcasting Company. So
the channel Fox is still
Fox sale Disney includes 21st Century Fox Films and Television Studios, cable entertainment networks, and international properties including Star in India and Fox's 39% owned ship of Sky in Europe. It also includes Fox's stake in Hulu. Disney already owns 30% of Hulu, so it makes them a controlling shareholder of Hulu now. So now Disney owns Hulu.
Oh. Okay. Well, in my opinion, Hulu sucks, so they can take that dumpster fire and do whatever the fuck they want with it. I'm not a big fan of that service anyways. But so the actual channel of Fox, the TV channel stays as is, but the cable networks all go to Disney.
Yes, correct.
That's still, yeah, I don't know. I don't like this. I'm right there. I'm right there with you. I'll tell you something else I don't like that Disney did did you see about the Star Wars movies?
No, what?
Every one of the Star Wars stories, the Boba Fett story, and there was a Anakin story that were greenlit previously, have all been put on hold because Solo did so horribly.
I expected that.
I am not happy about that.
No,
at all.
I'm not happy at all.
You people fucked us. Everybody that's listening that didn't go see it, that loves Star Wars, you fucked us on this one.
And it was such a good movie too.
You know what? The more and more I think about it, the more and more I like the movie.
Yeah, it was a great movie, and you didn't go see it, and now you're not gonna get any more of them. What did you learn, idiots?
Yep,
dude. Star Wars fans are some of the worst fans out there.
I don't disagree with you on this one at all.
And I love Star Wars, but I don't like dealing with their fans because this is what happens. They're so fucking critical.
Yep.
Oh, God damn it. You fucking ruined it for us. Fucking nerds.
I know. I read that. I was pretty bummed out because I think this also includes the next 3 movies that were to be produced.
Travis, we had it set up so well. We were going to have a Star Wars movie every year for the rest of our lives.
Right.
One a year. One glorious, great thing that I could depend on every year to watch, and I knew I would like it going into because they always do a good job, and the fucking Star Wars nerds fucked us.
They mostly do a good job, and the Star Wars nerds fucked us.
What do you mean mostly do a good job? Since Disney has bought Star Wars, there's not been a bad Star Wars movie.
Okay, touche. That's right. But taking Star Wars as a whole, yeah.
No. I mean the new Star Wars since Disney came.
Right. Yes, yeah. Yeah,
they promised us a movie a year. It was going to be awesome. We had 4 years of it, and then the nerds got cold feet because some fucking internet blogs said that Solo was not going to be as good as the other ones. You didn't go see it because of that. Idiots.
Right. I agree. But I will say, I think we have another shot here too, because I believe there is a live action Star Wars TV show coming. So, right. So, we have a shot. We have a shot. If we make that popular enough, maybe they'll greenlight, especially the Boba Fett movie. I'm not one of these Star Wars nerds that is like, just creams their jeans over Boba Fett, but it would be interesting to see that, I think.
Absolutely.
So we have a shot. Anyways,
we have a shot. You know what? Let's hope. Fingers crossed. All right.
What should our poll be for this week? Because we have a wide variety of topics.
I think we should go back to the original question. Should what's that business's name? Red Hen or whatever? The Red Hen? Bullshit barn.
Yeah, sure. What should the Chicken Shack do? So,
yes.
Should the Red Hen have the right to refuse Sarah Sanders? Is that what we're doing?
So, yes, correct.
Okay. All right. Are you okay with that wording? The right to refuse?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. Okay. Well, that's...
Should they have the right to refuse service to Sarah Huckabee Sanders or anybody else?
Okay. All right. Well, that's what we'll put up. We'll put that up on pwthepodcast.com. You can vote for it.
What are we going to call this episode?
Derailed the episode?
Yeah, I like that.
Do you want to do that?
Yep, I'm into that. We had a topic. We'll use it next week. It was a pretty good topic, too. I was pretty proud of myself.
You know what I love about when we do this, when we derail the topic, is that we don't have to worry about what we're going to do for next week.
And we also prepare for it, so eventually when we get to it, it's a better episode.
See? It's a win-win, kids.
We're doing this for you, the listeners. This is our PSA. This is how we treat you, okay? We're going to prepare even more for next week.
No, we're not. But we're going to come in. But we're going to come in prepared. So that is what we're going to do. So
the number is 747 banging.
747-226-4464. Calling.
I already told you to call in once.
Yeah, calling all doctors. We need to know what the Hippocratic Oath states and what the repercussions of it are.
And we also want to hear from the angry Star Wars nerds. I want to know why you didn't go see Solo. If you saw the other Star Wars movies and you consider yourself a Star Wars fan, I want to know what your fucking excuse was. Call in and give us your excuse.
Or
if you're not too much of a fucking chicken.
Or if you didn't like it, tell us why, because I'm dumbfounded on why people didn't like it.
Yeah, call in and tell us why you didn't like it so I can call you an idiot.
Because legitimately, the bar was not set high for this. Like, we knew it wasn't, or we heard everybody saying it wasn't going to be that great. But however, when you went into it, I thought it was pretty great. I don't know.
You can't trust people. You goddamn, people are sheep. Just do what you want. If you think Star Wars is cool, go see it.
You can't trust people. The episode. Maybe that should be it.
Dude, let's just call this groupthink the episode. That's what both these situations were. That's just groupthink.
Hive mind the episode.
Oh, winner, chicken dinner.
That's it. Okay. Hive mind the episode.
Prestige Worldwide, the podcast. It's pwthepodcast.com. PW the Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that social media bullshit. You can find us on SoundCloud. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play. Just search for Prestige Worldwide, the podcast. Tell your friends, tell your loved ones, tell people after you kick them out of a restaurant on their way out to listen to us, whatever.
Yes, sir. So, all right. I think that is going to be it for this week. If you don't have anything else,
I'm out. I'm out of rage. Fresh out.
But we'll be back next week with some more rage. Don't you worry.
I recharge quickly.
All right, guys. We'll see you next Thursday.
Bye-bye.